there's a moment before everything changes. When the world is watching, waiting, and you're standing at the edge of everything you've built. The rocket shakes. The ground trembles. Billions of dollars. Years of work. Countless sleepless nights. All of it riding on the next 60 seconds. Elon Musk stood in that moment. Not once, but twice. 3 times. Each failure more public, more painful than the last. But here's what people don't understand. This wasn't his first impossible dream. Elon Musk was born in Pretoria, South Africa, a place and time that demanded nothing of him except to exist quietly and follow the rules. But from the beginning, his mind lived somewhere else, somewhere bigger. As a child, he devoured books like they were oxygen, physics, engineering, philosophy, while other kids played outside. He was teaching himself the language of how things work, how to build, how to create, how to imagine what didn't yet exist. At 12 years old, while his parents' marriage crumbled around him, Elon did the unthinkable. He taught himself to code. He built a video game. He sold it. But more importantly, he learned something that day, that his mind was a tool, and with the right tool, you could reshape reality. South Africa felt too small for a dreamer. The culture was suffocating. The limitations were everywhere. His father was cold. His childhood was isolated. His schoolmates bullied him. But every limitation was a compass pointing him somewhere else. He left South Africa at 17, alone, with barely a plan. He worked odd jobs. He went to college. He studied, though his true education was happening elsewhere, in the fever dreams of possibility. His first company, Zip2, struggled. Then it didn't. It sold. For millions. He should have stopped. He should have been satisfied. He didn't stop. He started X.com. Then PayPal happened. He was ousted, removed from the company he founded, replaced by someone else while he was away on his honeymoon. Rejection isn't just a word, it's a wound. It's your work dismissed. It's being told you're not good enough. And Elon, he felt every one. Then came the idea that changed everything. What if we could make humans a multiplanetary species? What if we could make sustainable energy? What if? The world laughed. Investors laughed. Experts said it was mathematically impossible. SpaceX was born in a small garage with a mission that sounded like fantasy. Get a rocket to Mars. Sounds simple. It wasn't. It was insane. It was heartbreaking. It was a path designed for failure. Falcon 1 exploded on the launch pad. Then again. Millions of dollars gone. Burning. His personal fortune was draining away like sand through his fingers. While the world fell apart in 2008, Elon's companies were collapsing too. Tesla was bleeding money. SpaceX had one launch left before bankruptcy. His personal life was fracturing. He was broke. He was broken. He was alone. And then he made the hardest choice of his life. This is where most people break. This is where you accept defeat. This is where you stop dreaming and start surviving. Elon didn't. Instead, he did something radical. He looked failure in the eye, and he decided it wasn't the end of the story. It was a chapter. September 28th, 2008. Falcon 1 Flight 4. The last chance. The last dollar. The last dream. The rocket lifted. It climbed. It soared. It reached orbit. For the first time, a privately funded company had reached orbit. The impossible had become possible. The dream had become real. That moment rewired everything. That moment said, the world tells you no. The math says impossible. The experts say never. But if you're willing to suffer long enough, to think deep enough, to never surrender, anything can be possible. One success led to another. Tesla went public. SpaceX launched missions to the International Space Station. Then they landed a rocket booster vertically for the first time in human history. People who had written him off as a failure watched in amazement. But Elon never forgot those dark nights, that hunger, that desperation, those moments when everything seemed lost, because that's where the real power was. Not in the victory, but in the choice to keep going when everything said stop. Today, Tesla has changed how the world thinks about energy and transportation. SpaceX has made Mars colonization not a fantasy, but a goal within reach. Millions of lives are being touched by the ripples of his refusal to accept limits. But numbers and facts don't capture the real story. The real story is simpler. He was a boy in South Africa who felt like an alien in his own life. He was rejected. He was mocked. He failed publicly, repeatedly, painfully. And every single time, he chose to dream bigger instead of smaller. He chose to believe that one person, with enough conviction and courage, can change the world. Not through speeches or philosophy, but through relentless work, through suffering, through refusing to accept the practical limits that everyone else had accepted. Here's the truth that Elon's life teaches us. You don't become extraordinary by accepting the world as it is. You become extraordinary by refusing to. The obstacles in your life, the rejections, the failures, the people who say you're crazy, these aren't signs to stop. They're signs that you're thinking big enough to matter. That moment on the launch pad wasn't about a rocket reaching space. It was about a human reaching beyond every limit he'd ever been told to accept. Your path won't look like Elon's. Your dream won't be about Mars or rockets, but the principle is the same. Within you is a dreamer too. Within you is someone who can see beyond what exists. Someone who can imagine what doesn't yet live in the world. The question isn't whether you're capable of greatness. The question is whether you're brave enough to want it badly enough to endure the loneliness, the rejection, the failure, until the moment when the impossible becomes real. The future belongs to those who can dream it.